Okay, I'm at 11 Parkview Avenue in Newport, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for mainly any structural issues or root intrusion, anything that would be concerning to the buyer. Our access is a 6-inch clean out off the back of the house. It's going down over the hill to the little alleyway. That's where the sewer main is, I assume. That's what it looks like on the map. And so it's if you walk out the back door, it's to your right. It's a big 6-inch clean out sticking up. There's also one to the left if you're coming out the back door, and I believe that is storm, but we'll find out on the way. This looks like this is definitely sanitary, but we're actually going to go. You can see here is the clean out. There is the back door there, and here's the clean out. I'll wipe my camera off a little bit. And then we're going to go both directions. First, we're going to go upstream, back into the house. Get the camera to start going there. So we'll take a look at the interior stuff first. Maybe. It's hitting the lip like it always does. Going uphill. Doesn't want to go upstream. There we go. And we'll go through here and take a look at all the interior piping as much as we can. Looks like we got clay underneath the house once we get out of the PVC. Straight up. I'm not sure what this is here, but looks like we're at the end of the road. I'm going to run some water, see if we can find exactly where that is, but I'm going to run some water on the inside and see if we can get that to come out here. So I'm going to pause the video and take a look. Okay, so we're at the base of the stack. It's just what we're seeing there is the packing that they put around it. Right here where they dropped it's a 3-inch, so they pack it around it and put concrete in, and so that's all you're seeing there is where they put the packing around the smaller diameter pipe when they dropped it into the clay. So the interior stuff looks great. Didn't see any issues there. That's wonderful. Goes straight over to the stack. If you're facing the house, it's on the right center of the basement. So it's on the right side, but about the center of the house, from front to back. And then we are back into the clean out here, back in vertical, you'll see. Now we're going to go downstream, go out towards the main. And this should also be clay all the way out. And just want to say immediately that the most common thing we see in these old clay lines is root intrusion. So I think to the left there, that's a connection for the downspouts. And so it's not uncommon to see the little offsets like that too, especially when you're up on a hill like this. They will use the connections on these, they'll kind of rotate them inside each other to get some of the easier bends or to get drop on the pipe instead of using fittings a lot. And so you'll see some of the lippage like this where they're kind of turning the pipe down to get deeper as they go down the hill instead of using a fitting. Now, hopefully, we got a little bit of goo on the camera there. We can see well enough to see anything, but hoping once I get all the way out to the main, we'll be able to dip the camera in the water a little bit and rinse that little bit off of the camera. Based off the footage, I would think we're getting close. There's a little bit of roots. There are a couple trees back there by the alley, so
That was very small amount. Same here. Not really anything you could do at this point. You could. Here's a little bit more as we get down close to the main. The good thing is this line is you've got a 6-inch clean out, and so it's got a lot of room to clean. You can get a big knife in here. It looks like this is the drop off into the main. You can see. Yep, we're in the main now. See the water running through, so hopefully we can get the camera rinsed off really well so we can see on the way back. You can see where, if you look in the bottom left hand corner, you can see that the camera's sitting at a 60-degree angle there. And so what I'm going to try to do is maybe run some water while we're pulling back, and that way we can see the line functioning. But yeah, I think the only thing I really saw was a couple spots of minor root intrusion. Medium to minor. Some of it was pretty high up on the line, but you have very good access to do cleanings back here. I didn't see any structural issues. Just a little bit of roots, which would necessitate, maybe a cleaning every now and then, or at least maybe yearly treatments of root X. It's just hard when the line has that much pitch on it. It's meaning the lines, the line drops pretty quickly, and so the water travels a little faster. So sometimes those root killers, those chemicals, don't do a great job because they have to foam up, and they have to kind of catch on the roots to burn them back. And sometimes if the line's got a lot of pitch on it, then it'll just push it right on by the roots without really doing a whole lot. But like I said, the access here, having this enormous clean out, and I believe it's 6-inch all the way out, and having a 6-inch access, somebody that knows what they're doing could use a 6-inch double knife in here and really clean these roots out really well, and you wouldn't have to do it all that often. So but again, I'm going to pause the video, we're going to run some water, and then we'll continue the inspection as we pull back. Okay, we got some water running in the master bath. And so as we pull back, we'll take a look at everything again. But this is kind of what I was talking about with some of the root intrusion. It's not obstructing flow, but it's quite a few of these that are letting in a decent amount of roots. But with the access here with this big clean out, they should be able to clean these roots really well. But between like some 73 feet, there's only a couple spans here that actually have, a somewhat large amount of roots. See, there's a little bit there, but none of these are obstructing flow at all right now, so they don't need any immediate action or maintenance. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So between 73 feet 73 and about 57 feet. There's a couple sections there, but see, it's minor. It's not obstructing flow at all right now, so you've got a while. I'd plan on maybe doing a little bit of maintenance in a year or two. Just have it re-inspected to see how thick the roots are getting, and then that'll give you an idea of how to time your maintenance schedule. But you can see there's a couple trees right there on the property line, and that's what's doing this. And once you get back up the hill, you get further and further away from the trees, and obviously you get less and less roots. So that was at about 30. This one still has a little bit of tree roots. It's about 40, 41, 42 feet. But most of them were in that like 15 feet right at the end of the line. Again, structurally the line is in really good shape. All these roots are getting in at joints. That's very common. These clay lines are only in like 3-foot sections, so there's a lot of seams. And they used, probably back then at this point, they were using concrete essentially to pack around the joints, and that stuff kind of shrinks, breaks down a little bit, and that's where roots tend to get in. It's really common. So it's probably 80 to 90% of all the clay lines. If there's a tree near the sewer line and it's clay, there's usually roots in it. And so it's something that's just regular maintenance on old homes and old sewer lines. It's very normal. And so here we are, back out at the clean out, and so yeah, pretty good news. The line looked great structurally. It did have obviously those roots, but the small amount of roots that are in there are all easily taken care of with regular maintenance. They are not obstructing flow right now, and like I mentioned earlier about you could try to use a chemical treatment, but with the pitch of the line, it may just take it right on past the roots and flush it out into the main, just because of how much speed the water would have. So I would recommend, like I said, in a couple years, have the line re-inspected and cleaned. The re-inspection would be just to kind of gauge how fast the roots are growing, see how they're progressing, and that way you can time your maintenance schedule a little bit, find out if you're going to have to clean it every year or every 5 years or whatever. Just kind of helps kind of gauge the overall process. But all in all, the line is in pretty good shape and doesn't need anything immediately. So that's going to end the inspection at number 11 Parkview Avenue in Newport, Kentucky.